even just thinking for a second that of course you can move the units for $1,000 a foot, but
Okay.
everybody's getting decimated that fucking invested in that thing. So what's going on in real estate right now? The fact that it's been like half an hour and both of us are trying to avoid real estate discussion like
What do
the
you mean?
plague is indicative. I don't want to talk about real estate. Real estate is sad right now. Real estate
Why is it sad?
Why is it sad?
I'm watching like on my team, like we're just selling like crazy right now. I'm several houses a
Selling like
day.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's like 900 of you.
Okay, but I'm just saying that there's buyers out there. Like, listen, you get it priced right, you sell it for the right price, it sells.
It
Like,
sells
like this isn't like everyone's so caught up in
what it
oh
was
real
worth,
estate. Nobody,
what
yeah.
it
Like,
was worth,
think about if you
what it
have a
should be worth.
if you have a, exactly if you have like a 25-year horizon and you look at okay what over the last 25 years what was my expected growth rate and where should I be, we're still well above that, going
Mhm,
into like
mhm.
30% year over year appreciation in 21, 22, 26, 2016, 2017, like these years that made no sense, so we didn't even lose all of that. We didn't even like when we went from 2016 to 17 and we went up 30%, it only went down 15. When we went from
Mhm.
21 to 22, went up 30, but it only went down
We've been on
15.
this minus 15 number for a long time,
It's a
and
ballpark,
we've been
but it's
well.
actually 25 by the time it's come down. So like you got to lose that steam, and you got to go to the point where you're eventually going to be back on track with what a 100-year timeline on real estate appreciation cycle is going to be. So it's
Like
like, yeah,
land
prices are coming
values
down.
gone, land
Prices are coming
value
down.
gone, bro,
No,
gone,
yeah, you can't sell land right now.
disintegrated. Forget about
Yeah,
selling it. Like just the
yeah,
values are changing.
yeah.
It's those goddamn
But I'll
appraisers
s-
again trying to cover their
I'll
nuts.
sell out a pre-construction building tomorrow.
Sure, me too.
Any
Half
location
price. Yeah.
at the right price.
Yeah, at the right price. Way to go, TK. Everybody's
Okay.
bankrupt, but TK,
No,
well done.
I'm just
Right?
saying, like
TK's got his
any like
commission.
everyone's like
Everybody's
thinking to
bankrupt.
themselves, like, I can't,
Not I
no one
can't.
wants to ever buy it anymore. Like, no, it's just
Guys are
the
launching
developers can't
still.
afford to sell it for those prices. I totally agree with you, Daryl. Those prices that need to be marketed right now, developers will lose money, so they won't do it.
They
I
won't
totally
do it.
agree.
They
But
won't
is there
do it.
not somebody out there who owns land that could sell for those prices?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe. We're gonna see because there's a couple of
And
launches coming.
so those people who bought that land, however long ago, and got it at that price, who can't afford to sell at the right price to get it sold,
Yeah.
okay?
They're just
They
planning on
exist
taking
because of the
less
price
money.
they paid.
Eh,
Eventually, if the land prices come down enough to the
yeah.
point that they are similar to what
Yeah.
they might have been 10 years ago when those guys acquired the land, they will also be able to launch a new site coming up.
Maybe. Fucking construction costs, according to people, are all over the goddamn map right now.
Okay, well, let's break
Lending
that down.
costs are
Let's
all
break that.
fucking all over the place
Let's
and
break that
crazy.
down. Right
Yeah.
now, I think in Toronto we could sell out a building at $1,000 a square foot.
Ooh, Jesus. Okay.
Yes or no?
$1,000?
Yeah,
Maybe. It depends where it'd be. I don't think it'd go like you'd think. But yeah, I
in the
mean,
right location, no problem.
yeah, look, in
What's
Yorkville,
whatever? Humor
right?
me.
You
Humor me.
won Young Street
What
for
are
a
the hard
thousand
costs?
bucks.
What are the hard costs?
For what? For that
600
building?
bucks a square foot.
Hold on a sec. Are we, is this $1,000 a square foot? Is this like max market? Is this top of market? Because
No,
no, it's
no.
not. It's a typical
Mid
building.
market,
Mid market
$1,000, great
typical
location.
building. Okay, let's say 450 for hard costs.
450 hard costs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, what's your land coming in at? Did you just buy it? Did you just get a steal?
Well, we'll
Did you
figure out
just
the land
rob
costs after.
someone?
We'll figure out what we can
What we have to sell it for?
What about all your soft costs?
I don't know.
HST, everything else. You
You're
might be
probably
a
another
couple hundred
like
bucks a square foot.
no, way more than that. Way
Okay.
more than that. I mean, it depends how big this fucking building is because you're gonna spread it
Just
over a bigger
overestimate.
building. I don't know. Let's say 350 a foot, which is
Okay.
maybe even low.
Okay. So we got 450
But
for
let's
that's
say
eight,
350.
800. That's
Yeah.
800. That includes HST, that includes everything, right?
I don't know. It's all fictitious. But yeah, let's say it includes everything it needs to include. What do you got? A $200 buffer there before
you
anything
got
even starts? And
yeah.
you didn't even include nothing.
No,
Right?
we included it. I just said overestimate.
We didn't even include the land, bro.
I know we're not there yet.
Right. Oh, we
Okay.
got $200 a
So
spread.
now your land cost can be 5%,
5% of,
right? So
yeah.
50 bucks per buildable.
Oh, okay. So, and this is in
Right? And
Toronto,
now you got
downtown.
150
Yeah.
and now you got 150 bucks a buildable
Yeah.
left of profit.
Okay. Well, you go do that deal because that's
I, I'm
horrifically
not.
scary. Because you know
I'm
what
not.
happens to that 150? Bye bye.
I told
See
you
you
to
later.
overestimate. You told me over. You gave me 350.
Listen, I
Okay.
think there's not much buffer in there. 150 a square foot. I don't care how many square feet it is. No one's doing this deal. No one's doing this deal at all. And you got to go through the risk of building all that shit, dealing with all those people, borrowing all that money, building that goddamn thing, and the
Yeah.
years it takes to do it. TK, not happening for $1,000 a foot. If you can do it for $1,000 a foot, okay,
When
I
you
don't know.
when
What are
you
your
sell
soft
out to
costs?
get your
Maybe
construction financing.
Maybe you funded it yourself because you're a multi-bajillionaire. Okay. You funded the building yourself. You're not paying any interest. Okay. And I don't know, maybe your company manages the project themselves and doesn't pay themselves a fee.
Those are
TK.
the soft costs. We've already included all that.
I
That's
know, but I think
okay.
it's low, to be honest with you.
Anyways, it's upsetting you. I can tell. I'm
It's
sorry. I
upsetting me
struck a
because
nerve.
no, because even just thinking for a second that of course you can move the units for $1,000 a foot, but
Okay.
everybody's getting decimated that fucking invested in that thing, right?
I'm not saying that these guys bought the land anytime soon unless they're buying it from a receiver because that guy couldn't put the deal together at
And even
$1,800 a
50
square
bucks
foot.
a foot is cheap as shit
But
for downtown.
that
That's
might just be what
crazyville.
it is.
It might, but you see,
That
that
just
doesn't
might be
even work.
what it is.
And construction costs, they should come down technically, but I
Okay.
mean, nobody knows what to do with tariffs. So Altus Group just announced they just released their cost guide for 2025. I
Question mark.
believe it was way later than normal. They were probably
Yeah.
waiting to see what was going on with tariffs. So they
Yeah.
just threw out this like, I mean, rarely can you rely on it to begin with, but now it's like,
The
really?
range. It's
Really?
like 400 to
What
800.
is this shit? Everybody's
Yeah.
being so cautious right now because they
Yeah.
don't want to like give you something and then later it's more, right?
Yeah.
Because they've all seen what happens when the market's booming and you give somebody a forecast that's too low and it ends up being more than that and it just gets absorbed and everybody made a ton of money and everybody's happy, that doesn't matter. But when they give you something and it wasn't enough and the market's going to shit and now your
They never
budget
trust you again.
explodes, right? You're
Yeah.
fucked, right?
Yeah.
So it's like they're all being safe with everything and land values are being super safe. So it's like it's really hard to
Mhm.
do a project without a lot of money, right? Like a
Mhm.
lot of money and
Mhm.
way more money than you even needed before, right?
Mhm.
You need more
So
money.
your IRR is going to be a lot lower.
Well, it's just your well, if you can even get a deal done, for God's sakes, right?
Yeah.
So this is the thing, is like, where does land have
so
to
here's
be
but here's my next thing though. Here's the next part to that, right? As I said that, what is our expectations on returns, right?
enough to
Well,
be
well,
happy,
look, I mean,
to make
like
it
if you're expecting,
worthwhile.
if you thought, okay, that the stock market, okay, was gonna do what it's done over the last 10 years,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
You're a genius. You've come out a genius.
You've come out a
But
genius.
for you to think that it's gonna do that again over the next 10 years, you're
Maybe a genius,
a little
maybe
bit
not. We'll see.
overzealous, okay?
Well, why?
Because it could
What
be
if you pick the
negative
right
returns.
stocks?
It's
Oh,
just the
just the
way things
overall.
go. It's the way the market goes. It's got to correct itself. So maybe the next 10 years of returns are garbage. So maybe the next 10 years on your maybe rates are going to come down because they're going to be trying to continue to stimulate the economy. So bond rates aren't going to be good investments. You're not going to have as many options on real estate as residential goes.
So what are you saying?
Gonna have
All
so
investment
expectations
will
for
drop.
returns will drop, and all of a sudden
Uh,
now, if a developer who's got a fund or a REIT or somebody else like that is
Yeah.
saying, "Hey, let's just try to return 3-4% this year, and we're
Yeah.
doing pretty good for ourselves,"
Yeah.
that might just be something that just becomes acceptable.
Are you looking for the best merch store on the planet? Well, we got the shit for you. Coming in at low prices where we barely make any money off of whatsoever, you can get the greatest real estate merchandise on this platform. Just look at this very flamboyant man putting on this great stuff. He looks great, he's dancing great, and boy does he look sexy in that merchandise. I tell you, buy this for anybody, you buy this for yourself. You will be not only repping the greatest Canadian real estate podcast in this world, but you will also be looking hella good doing it.